Let's talk printing today and take a closer look at the printer I personally use and recommend when answering questions about home printing uses for my personal crafting. This is the Canon Pixma G6020. I purchased this in 2020 after being frustrated with my $80 Epson black ink only quote unquote home printer. I was tired of dealing with jams, ink flushes, error codes. I also had an Epson PictureMate PM400 at the time, and we'll get into that a little later in the video. But at this point, that little home printer was being used to print sketches, class materials, journaling, run die cuts back through it for printed journaling on pre-made elements, all of those types of things. When deciding on an EcoTank printer, I watched a lot of YouTube reviews comparing Canon lines versus Epson lines. Ultimately, the research that I personally did steered me to the Canon for, again, personal reasons. When doing research on things like printers, you need to look closely at the printer needs that you need. These may be different from my needs. There's a lot of options out there. I know and enjoy this one, so that's what I'm going to talk about today. One of the main draws for me on the G6020 is the EcoTank system. No more cartridges, no more print errors when the pink runs out. Another feature I specifically looked for was a rear tray. This allows me to send things like tags and die cuts back through the printer for typed up journaling and stuff like that on those pre-made elements. You do not want to do this in the main cartridge as it goes around a roller and you're just asking for a jam. It can be done. I've done it on that old home printer, but it's a gamble every time. The footprint of this machine is a little large, so make sure to take a look at the measurements and be sure you have somewhere to put it in your space. I didn't originally buy the printer for photos, but during a photo printing session with my PictureMate 400, I was frustrated that the photo printer was again asking for the heads to be cleaned, thus wasting more ink from the very expensive cartridge to run that task. Or I would find myself out of one color and the printer would not process a print if there were any error codes showing, like low ink. I would get approximately 110 prints on the PictureMate 400 with one cartridge that was around $33 at the time. In frustration, I decided to put photo paper in the G6020 to see what would happen as far as quality. Photos printed great. I never used the PictureMate 400 again. I make sure when printing photos that my print settings are set as high as I can get them. I specify the type of photo paper and borderless or with a border. You can print from software like I do. I use Photoshop Elements. You can use File Explorer. There's a Canon print app. Whatever you personally have access to print from should work. Just go through the print window settings and give it as much information as you can for the best results. On a side note, in my Amazon storefront where I link all my printing supplies, there are 3 levels of photo paper. I tend to just purchase the basic value photo paper, but there is a middle level and a premium that I've used as well. The paper thickness seems to be the difference. All of those often go on sale and even have a subscribe and save option if you are an Amazon customer. The printer can be set up for plugged in option or printing over a Wi-Fi signal. I have mine too far from my PC to plug it in, so mine prints through a Wi-Fi connection. The time it takes to send the information and start actually printing is going to vary on this. Mine is considered fast according to friends who have purchased and experienced a minute-long delay in printing. In my opinion, this has more to do with your personal setup as far as internet and your computer. We all have differences there, so I can't really speak to specifics on that. I'm also somebody that does not print from a mobile device like a phone or a tablet, so I don't have personal experience with printing from those devices. Personally, I keep the paper cartridge empty at all times. This is that tray that you fill in with paper and it slides into the bottom of the machine. The printer is set up to take paper from that cartridge first, and I want it to pull from whatever medium I have loaded into the rear feed tray. So things like photo paper, hammer mill cardstock, journaling on a die cut, I don't want it to go to that cartridge, so I keep mine empty. Filling the ink tank is super easy, and I fill mine about every 10 to 12 months. I print a lot. I've printed entire cookbooks, double-sided and in color, and it barely used the ink. To refill or fill when you first get it, you open the covers on each color, tip the bottle upside down, and you can hear kind of like a gurgle sound when the ink is moving. If it's not moving, you just slightly lift the bottle so it has a little air to move around. You'll hear it and know it's going. If the ink well is completely empty, it will take that full bottle. In the clips here, my inks were just about to that quarter mark, so there's still a little ink left in the bottle. I will top it off in a month or so when there's room in that inkwell to go ahead and finish off the bottles. Refills for this are pretty inexpensive, and you can purchase them individually as you need different colors. I tend to purchase mine all at one time so that I have them. I'm showing here the printer listing on Amazon, and this is the price with no sale, no discounts. Don't purchase it at this point. Wait for a sale. It goes on sale pretty often. I try to notify my Facebook group when I see it go on sale. I've seen it go as low as $175 a few times, and very common to see it in that $180 to $200 range. I bought one in 2020 and used it for 4 years. That's $50 per year, and I felt like I had a good run with that investment. I had an error message pop up on the printer screen, and doing some research determined that the ink absorber was getting full. Now, this is where your mileage may vary and your skills may vary from mine. After some research and even buying a replacement absorber, I chose to instead repurchase the same model printer. Again, for me, at $50 per year, that was a good investment and not worth me potentially breaking the printer. The absorber is filled when you run maintenance functions like ink flushes and printhead cleaning functions. With the second printer I bought in 2024, I've never had to run either of those functions. I don't have an answer as to why, but I can make the assumption that it could just be luck of the equipment and that I print pretty much daily now, so nothing is drying out inside the heads. Again, this is just me making guesses based on my personal experience. I will never tell someone how to spend their money. I just want to provide some more information on this as I get a lot of questions about it, and I want to have somewhere to direct viewers for more information. So to wrap up, I hope that if you had questions regarding the printer that I personally use, or how I'm printing my photos, journaling, things like that for scrapbooking, I hope that this gave you a better glimpse into that process, kind of answered some questions. Again, I have in all of my videos, there's a link to the Amazon storefront for my printing items. On that page is the printer, the photo paper options, the matte photo paper that I buy for collages, the ink refills, kind of anything and everything I tend to order through Amazon. It's just easier. And again, if you're considering purchasing this, keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on my Facebook group for when this goes on sale. So with that, I'm going to leave you guys here. If you have further questions, leave them down below. And I will catch you guys next time. Bye.